So what is this idea of our conditioning, and how do we transcend this conditioning, right? So we know that in the depths of our own consciousness, there really lies this vast web of conditioning, right? It's woven over the course of our entire lives, like from the moment that we are born, when we enter the world, right? We're immersed in all of these influences, like our social, cultural, like familial, like it all shapes our thoughts, beliefs, and our actions. And we've covered this so many times in other videos, and if you're interested in some of those, go back and take a watch. Pretty good stuff. I'd appreciate it. So with that conditioning, right? All these thoughts, our actions, and our beliefs. So we become really entangled in this intricate threads of tradition, education, societal expectations, and all of these things, fairly unaware of the profound impact that it actually has on our perception and our behaviors. So if we're going to transcend this intricate web of conditioning, right, we have to really move forward on the journey of, once again, self-discovery, right? An inward exploration of, and we have to make this kind of immense significance to this, right? So the first step that we use to cultivate this deep and abiding sense of awareness, to observe the movements of the mind without any kind of judgment or interference. So, and it's within that space of observation that we have this area, this, I guess again, this space of insight to blossom, right? We create a space of insight to blossom. This space where the light of understanding can penetrate all the layers of our conditioning. So, and to be aware means to be fully present, right, in the present moment, and to watch our thoughts and emotions without any kind of attachment to them. So in that state of this kind of attentive observation, we begin to discern the patterns and mechanisms that govern all of our responses, and we see how our conditioned mind molds our perceptions, distorts reality, and perpetuates its own sense of existence, right? So as we delve deeper into this inquiry, we have to inquire into the nature of our own beliefs. What is the source of our convictions, opinions, and all of these dogmas? And are they really our own, or are they borrowed from others? So the mind is always, it's eager, right, to try to find security and belonging, and it clings to these beliefs as a shield against the complete uncertainty that life deals us. So we can see, though, that a true sense of freedom lies in questioning the validity and origins of those beliefs and examining them with a lot of care and an utmost amount of intelligence, right? So as we untangle the threads of the conditioning, we encounter a sense of resistance. So the mind it's accustomed to its familiar grooves, right? And therefore it may revolt or rebel against this unfamiliar terrain of inquiry. It seeks comfort and confirmation all the time, right? So avoiding the discomfort that arises from challenging its deeply ingrained patterns. That's where it wants to stay, in those ingrained patterns. But we have to persist with this, because it's only in confronting this resistance that we can find any hope to transcend it. So in the process of this self-inquiry, we realize that our conditioning, it's not a fixed and immutable entity, right? It's not a prison from which we can really never escape from, but it's rather this dynamic and ever-changing phenomena that's molded by our thoughts, actions, and all of our experiences. So in recognizing this malleability, it's within the recognition of this malleability of our minds, that we discover the power to transform our own conditioning, right? So to free ourselves from the shackles of this conditioning, we have to cultivate an attitude of radical self-honesty. That's hard for a lot of people to do, but we have to do it. A sense of radical self-honesty. So we have to be willing to question everything that we've been taught and to examine our motives and desires with this unwavering clarity. So this honesty is really born out of this genuine longing for truth, right? It dissolves the layers of conditioning and reveals the authentic essence that lies beyond it, right? So this process of overcoming conditioning, it's a journey of self-liberation. It's a journey towards discovering our own true nature that's outside of that conditioning. So it requires a deep sense of courage, perseverance, and a profound sense of, I guess, humility. And as we really unburden ourselves from this weight of conditioning, we open the door to a new way of being, a way that's really rooted in freedom, authenticity, and like this boundless possibility of the present moment. So within the depths of our own consciousness or consciousness itself, right, there lies the potential for liberation from these confinements. And by delving into the depths of self-awareness and embracing certain practices, we can move forward on a journey towards transcendence, right? So one way and one path that really can call us towards this is this path of meditation. So in the stillness of our own minds, we're able to observe this ceaseless chatter of our thoughts. So, right? We can observe that in the constant movement of our emotions and the subtle currents of all of our desires. We have a clear glimpse at that. And the more we practice, the more we can identify these things. And so through this kind of sustained attention, we develop an intimate relationship with the inner workings of our being, and we peel away the layers of conditioning that veil our true nature, right? It's exciting. So as we dig into, or we delve deeper into this practice, we come to realize that thoughts arise and pass away like fleeting clouds in the vast expanse of the sky. We've talked about this before. This individual, Jay Shetty, spoke about this, how we are the sky, and these thoughts and feelings and whatnot are the clouds. And these clouds just come and go, right? And in that, we discover the spaciousness of that sky, right? Of what we are. We discover the spaciousness, a realm where the mind is unburdened by the constraints of that conditioned thinking. Right? We're able to view it with more clarity. So another way, though, that aids in the emancipation of this is the art of mindfulness. So by cultivating a moment-to-moment awareness of our experience, we learn to disentangle ourselves from the automatic reactions and habits that govern our lives, that conditioning. So this mindfulness invites us, right? It invites us to engage with each passing moment in a state of non-judgmental attentiveness, right? Where we can embrace the fullness of our sensations, thoughts, and emotions. And it's through this practice of mindfulness that we become acquainted with the intricate tapestry of our existence without being entangled in its complexities. So with a sense of patience and persistence, we gradually detach from the rigidity of our conditioning, and we create a space in which we can respond to life's challenges with clarity and with equanimity, right? As equanimous sense of self is incredibly important, to be calm in the face of adversity, right? So moreover, right, we can see in introspection, in this sense, it serves as a powerful tool in unraveling the knots of conditioning. So by turning our gaze inward, we unravel, we uncover the deeply ingrained beliefs, fears, and all of these prejudices that shape our perceptions of the world. And we inquire into the origin and validity of these constructs, where we question the very foundations upon which they rest, right? In this process, right, of this self-inquiry, we shed the light of awareness on the mechanisms that perpetuate our conditioning, and because of that, we dismantle them one by one. And as we cultivate a compassionate curiosity towards our inner landscape, we begin to be free. We're able to free ourselves from the limitations imposed by those societal norms, all those inherited beliefs, and we really forge our own path towards authentic self-expression. Right? It's pretty incredible, right? So this journey towards overcoming conditioning is deeply personal, subjective, and incredibly, highly transformative. And it requires a willingness to question, to explore, and to embrace all of life's uncertainties. So with that, it really demands that we face the discomfort of stepping outside of the boundaries of familiarity and really bring ourselves to like totally uncharted territory. So as we engage in these practices like meditation, mindfulness, and introspection, which mentioned above there, we gradually unearth the essence of our being and untangle the knots of conditioning that bind us. So we emerge into a state of freedom, liberated from the confines of societal expectations and cultural molds, and discover the boundless potential that lies within us. So it's in that self-discovery that we find the truest expression of ourselves beyond these limitations of conditioning, and we really allow ourselves to move forward, into a life that's imbued with authenticity and profound fulfillment. Yeah. Namaskar.